There are 6 things that if someone does them to you, it means what they feel is probably not love. Now, no matter what they call it, and I need you to hear that because we live in a generation that slaps the word, love on anything with a pulse. But love, it's not what somebody says. Love is what someone repeats. Anybody can say I love you, parrots can say I love you, but it is the behavior that costs something. So today, we're doing an inspection. 6 behaviors, 6 deal breakers. And if the person that you're with does any of these, I'm not saying that they're evil. What I am saying is whatever they're feeling, it's probably not love. So make sure you watch to the end because number 6 is the one that nobody wants to admit. Now, before we start the list, let me tell you why this matters. There are researchers, right, who study couples for a living. They don't look at, the vacations that you take together, which anniversary you're celebrating. They don't look at your look, we're happy Instagram posts, nor the candles that are shaped like hearts that they set up on Valentine's Day. What they look at is for tiny repeated behaviors because love, it's not proven on Valentine's Day through an Instagram post. Love is proven on a random Tuesday when nobody is watching and nothing is in it for them. And listen, I'm not coming at this from a high horse. I've been cheated on. I've been through it. I chose myself and I rebuilt. So this list, it's not bitterness. This is a map. So let me break the 6 things down for you. Number 1, public humiliation. Now, this is the person who makes fun of you at dinner in front of your friends and then hits you with the classic, babe, relax. It was just a joke. No, a joke has a punchline, right? And what they did had a target, and that target, well, it was you. He or she insults you, though the whole table goes quiet, somebody fake coughs, and you have to do that thing where you fake laugh while your soul feels humiliated. There's a difference between laughing with you and making a living off of you, right? If their best material is your insecurities, well, then you're not their partner. You are their content. You see, I believe that humiliating you in front of witnesses is them trying to feel taller by folding you smaller, right? It trains everybody watching to see you as less. Not to mention, you giving that fake laughter to, play it off is pretty much giving them permission to do it again in the future. Now, hear me on this. Anyone who makes you the punchline in public already made you small in private. Understand that love, it protects your dignity in every room it walks into, period. Number 2, monitoring your phone. Now, if your partner goes through, your phone like a TSA agent, asking you to, pretty much take your shoes off and explain every detail that's on your phone, is that really love or is it surveillance? I know couples where one person has the other's, location, password to like every social media account, checks their screen time report to see what apps they've used and for how long, and probably have their social security number on file too. Listen, control always markets itself as concern, right? They will say it's because they care. But trust is not something that you investigate into existence. You cannot subpoena your way to security. And a lot of times the one playing detective is the one with something buried in the backyard. Bottom line, if real trust is broken, the answer is an honest conversation or an honest goodbye. Real quick, how every YouTuber says, follow me on Instagram and, you never do it? I get it. But go follow me on Instagram. I try to post daily reels and daily stories that, most never make it here on YouTube. I'll leave a link to my IG down in the description below as well as in the pinned comment. And if you have any relationship questions or just seeking, life advice, that's the place to reach me at. But for now, let's get back to the list because number 3 lives in almost every house on your street. Number 3, stonewalling. This is when there's a conflict and they just shut down, right? No words, no eye contact. You ask, what is wrong? And you get nothing. At that point, you might as well argue with a houseplant. And honestly, the houseplant has more emotional availability. At least the plant grows. Now, let me be fair. Saying, I'm upset and I need an hour to cool down. That is healthy. That is a pause, right? But 3 days of silence designed to, make you suffer until you apologize for something that they did, that's not a pause. The psychology is simple. Stonewalling weaponizes your need for connection. They starve you of it until you fold. So write this down. Silence can be a pause or it can be a punishment. And love always tells you which one it is. Number 4, making you responsible for their emotions. Now, somewhere along the way, you stopped being their partner and got promoted to their unpaid emotional support human. So their bad day at work becomes your bad evening at home. Their insecurity becomes your daily, reassurance shift. And if they explode somehow, it's your fault for the way that you breathe it near them. Now, if you're in this situation, if you check their mood before you check the weather, if you walk into your own living room, reading the room like a bomb technician, wondering which wire you're about to trip today, then I'm sorry to tell you, but that is not a home. Listen, there's nothing wrong with loving someone through a storm, but you were never meant to be their umbrella, their roof, and their flood insurance all at once. Understand that a grown adult who hands you the steering wheel of their feelings will also hand you the blame for every crash. Now, these last two are the ones that people defend the hardest, so hear me out. Number 5, comparing you to others. They'll be like, why can't you be more like her or like him? My ex never had the problem with this. Let me say this plainly. You're not a smartphone. You don't have a newer model coming out in the fall, and anyone shopping for upgrades while holding your hand has already told you everything. You see, the psychology here is nasty, right? Comparison is insecurity farming. They keep you auditioning for a role that you already have, because a person busy proving their worth never stops to question the director, but the right person never makes you compete for a position that you already hold. You see, love, it doesn't run a casting call. It closed the auditions the day it chose you. And number 6, the one that nobody wants to admit. Threatening to leave, right? Every argument, the suitcase, it comes out. Every disagreement, and then they think it's time to move on. This is the relationship equivalent of pulling the fire alarm every time you lose at Monopoly. There's no fire. There was never a fire. They just did not like the way the game was going, so they made sure everybody evacuated the building. And here's why it works and why it's so toxic. You see, threatening to leave, it presses the oldest panic button that you have, the fear of abandonment. So you stop arguing, not because, anything was resolved, but because you are scared. And slowly, you learn to swallow every problem because the price of, speaking is losing them. Listen to me. If the door is their favorite weapon, the relationship was always a hostage situation. A person who loves you fights to understand you, right? They don't auction the relationship every time they want leverage. 1 Corinthians 13 describes love in plain language. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It keeps no records of wrongs. Now read that list again and notice what is not on it. No humiliation, no surveillance, no silent treatment, no emotional invoices, no comparison, no threats. That standard is 3,000 years old, and somehow we're out here negotiating discounts on it. Stop negotiating. Love is not supposed to be a place that you survive. It's supposed to be a place where you grow, right? And the person who truly loves you will never make you choose between being loved and being okay. Remember that love is not a word they say. It's the pattern they live. If you got any value out of this video, then you know what to do. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so, you don't miss any future videos. And if you loved this video, the YouTube algorithm, it believes that you'll love one of these as well. Right here. This one's good. This one's good. They're all good. They're all full of gems. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on one of these. Peace.